Everybody, welcome to the social media marketing event. Let's wait a few seconds while everybody gets their audio and visual connected. We're excited to have everybody on with us this morning. Awesome. How's everybody doing? Let's make sure we're going to be using the chat room like we do always for all of our other coaching calls, events, and such. We're going to be using the chat room. Throw your questions up in there. Tyler's going to go ahead and introduce Joe here in just a second. But as Joe is speaking, as Joe is giving his presentation, let's use the chat room for questions. Joe will have short breaks in between where he switches from topic to topic, and that's
what up, Chantel?
And answer those questions. So Tyler, if you want to introduce, we have Tyler on here as well. Ryan, Todd, everybody's on with us this morning. So Tyler, I know you have a big old sign for Joe.
Hey, Jackson, quit talking. I'm trying to see everybody. I'm trying to call everybody up by name. Crying out loud, dude. I'm just kidding, man.
No worries.
Good to see everybody on here for sure. Mike, Frankie, Chase, gosh dang it, man, looking sharp. What up, Philip? I love it. Everybody else got to turn your cameras on. We got to see those smiling faces. Brett Davenport, turn your camera off, please, for the sake of everyone. I'm kidding, brother. It's good to see you, dude. You didn't even hear it, I don't think.
I'm at a conference now, a fast track conference. So we're on a lunch break, so I'm trying to listen in, and I got to get back to the conference.
All right, you're off the hook then, okay? You're off the hook. Good to hear from you. All right, I'll introduce Joe. That way we can get started into everything. Joe has a bio here for me, but I don't even know if I should read the bio or not. I'm going to tell you this. I want everyone to type in the chat box. Okay, if you found out about multifamily mindset, if you found out about us as a company from social media, throw something in the chat box, a thumbs up, this sign, I love this one. Maybe thank you. Don't do the finger in the middle, or you can. It's up to you. If you found out about multifamily mindset through social media, please, I love that one too. Anything, throw in the chat box. Let me see you there. And first off, I know that every one of you found out about us through social media because that's about the only way that we market is through social media, which just tells me that y'all are slow on the type. And it's okay. It's a Saturday. Okay, we'll let you off the hook as well. Joe Hupp is the beautiful mind behind our social media marketing, our marketing period. And he is I'm serious when I say that, just a beautiful mind. And we're very, very grateful for him as a company. He is always just like staying up to date with the current trends and the current tactics and strategies, and just an absolute stud. Joe, should I read some of this bio? Or
no, you're good, man.
I'm just telling you right now that I'm seriously so grateful for him because I reached out to Joe about the social media and I was like, hey, Joe, what are the chances that you'd be willing to take a few hours on a Saturday to teach social media marketing? And he agreed. He jumped in, said he would, which is why Joe Hupp is a certified badass. Wait a minute. Joe Hupp is a certified badass. Okay, that's not even a question. You will see that for sure as we go through. Joe, I'll turn the time over to you to just wax poetic and blow our mother effing minds, brother. You take it over.
All right. Well, thank you, Tyler. Yeah, nice to be with you guys. So first of all, I'll just say too, I don't know if Tyler remembers this story, but they actually came and approached us to do some social media marketing for them for a while. They actually courted us for a little bit. It was a month or two where they're like, hey, we want to work with you. And I was like, no, we don't want to do another event. And then I met Tyler and I said, all right, done, let's do this, because I haven't met anybody that cares as much about his students as Tyler. So grateful to be working with you, Tyler, and the MFM team, because you guys you're changing lives and I love to be a part of it. So thank you for that, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
All right. So social media, let's jump in. Looks like Jackson, I'm going to need to be able to share. Can you give me the ability to share my screen, please?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I'm doing that. I'll do that right now.
Yeah, no worries. Now we have, there you go. Thanks. So we have a lot to cover. And so I'm going to kind of just jump right in because we have a lot to cover here. And so there's going to be sections where I'm going to pause and I'm going to ask for questions. So, because I want to make sure this is as interactive as possible. I've done a lot of speaking and live events, and I feel like the conference, the event, the training goes better when there's engagement. There's a lot of engagement, a lot of interaction, and you kind of pull your energy from the energy of the room. And I think Tyler can attest to that. But the more energy in the room, I think the better the training goes. So let's have lots of interaction. I'll ask you to type into the chat. Keep your questions though till we take those pauses, and I'll make sure all of your questions are answered today. But with social media, it's and again, my goal today, this is kind of what we're going to go through. This is my goal today, but is to give you a general overview of social media, which social media networks you should be focused on to find potential investors, creating and managing your brand on social media, finding and understanding your audience, organic and paid. We're going to get into the weeds today. I'm going to show you how to do some of the paid strategies that we do day in and day out, and then how to generate investor leads using social media. And then I'll open it up to, like I said, to some Q&A. Now with that, social media is kind of one of those love-hate relationships. There's nobody really on the fence with social media. There's nobody that says, I just, I kind of like social media, I don't like it. So here's what I want to do. I want to take a quick poll. Type a 1 into the chat if you just absolutely love social media. Give me a 2 in the chat if you hate social media, and maybe give me a 3 in the chat if you, all I see is twos. And give me a 3 if you love to hate social media. That's where I sit. I love to hate social media because it's a love-hate relationship. Lots of 2s, some 1s, a 1.5, some 3s, so good. So we're kind of all over the board. Now, like I said, you're somewhere in the middle, either love it or you hate it. But when I talk about social media, the first question I always get is, all right, who uses social media? Who is social media for? And everyone assumes that social media is for millennials, and that's who's on social media. That's the only people using social media are millennials. But I would have to beg to differ. And I tell you that's actually incorrect. And let's look at the numbers. So again, I'm just going to do a quick overview and intro into social media and why this is important, because these are the types of things where we can, if we understand them, we can find the right type of people that we want to partner with and work with. So right now on the different social media sites, there's over 4 billion users. Now it's estimated there's 7 billion people on the planet. So over half of them have some social media account. Now users spend on average 2.5 hours per day on social media. Now this one shocked me a little bit. People are wondering, well, why has the productivity in America gone down? Well, I can answer you right there. There's this thing called social media. If we're spending 2.5 hours a day on social media, it's not the most productive time. I'm going to show you how we can use social media to benefit us and generate more income. Now, the fastest growing sector, the fastest growing age group on social media right now is 55 plus. Okay, so it's not the millennials, it's that 55 plus baby boomer generation. They're the fastest growing sector. Now, I happen to know this personally because my mom fits that category. She is a baby boomer, and I know that she has come on social media, and she came on Facebook with a vengeance. I swear, now that she's retired, that's what her new job is. It's Facebook. That's all she does, right? And here's the thing. So I obviously do a lot of marketing on social media, and recently I posted something on social media, and I used a curse word. Excuse my French. I used a curse word, heaven forbid. And within like 32 seconds, my mom, bless her heart. Now listen, when you say bless their heart, you can say whatever you want after that. So I'm saying bless her heart because now I get to say whatever I want. So bless her heart. 32 seconds after I posted this curse word on social media, she posts and she says, "You watch your mouth, young man, or I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap." Now look, I'm a 40-year-old man. I can't have my mom telling people that she's going to wash my mouth out with soap on social media. So I give her a call and I'm like, "Mom, you got to delete that off Facebook. That's embarrassing." I mean, I couldn't tell her that I thought it was funny, but so I said, "You got to go delete that." She's like, all right. She's laughing. "All right, I'll go delete it." And we hang up. Like 2 minutes later, she calls me and she's like, "Hey, how do I delete stuff off of Facebook?" I'm like, "Don't put it on there if you don't know how to freaking delete stuff." But she has come on with a vengeance. Now, my father-in-law, and then we'll move on, but my father-in-law is in his 80s. And again, he's retired, and I believe all he does is Facebook. Now, I like it because we live in Utah and they're in Texas, so they get to interact with the grandkids, see what we're doing. And I know for sure anytime we post something on Facebook, my father-in-law is out there and he's going to like it within like 10 seconds. And my mother-in-law as well. He'll like it, and then my mother-in-law will like it like 15 seconds later. So we were down in Texas this last time, and I said, "Man, you guys sure love your social media." And my mother-in-law kind of looks at me like, I'm not on social media. What are you talking about? And I'm like, "Well, Facebook, right? You've got your Facebook account." She's like, "No, I don't have a Facebook account." And I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" So, and then my father-in-law like walks out of the room. Come to find out, he has his account and my mother-in-law's account, and he's liking everybody's posts on both accounts. So, I mean, I think that's an addiction, but it's all good. Well, that is your fastest growing sector. They are very active on social media. And guess what? That is our target audience. And we're going to talk about how to find them and where they congregate. Now, this is another important thing. 99% of all social media users are accessing social media on their mobile device. It used to be desktop. It's now a mobile device. So how are they digesting content? It's on their mobile device. So when you produce content, you have to make it mobile ready, because that's what obviously 99% of the users are doing it on their mobile device. People watch more than 1 billion hours of video on YouTube every single day. Again, why did the productivity in the US go down? YouTube, Facebook, right? There's your answer. Now, this is interesting. YouTube controls more eyeballs than NBC, ABC, CNN combined. These are huge juggernauts in the news space, and YouTube controls more eyeballs. So your audience, they are on social media. They're on YouTube, they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn. And we're going to talk about, again, how you can harness the power rather than wasting 2.5 hours a day browsing through everybody else's stuff. We're going to show you how you can monetize it. Now, size does matter when it comes to social media, right? Largest social media network is Facebook. Facebook is by far the biggest. Number 2, YouTube. Number 3, WhatsApp. Number 4, Facebook Messenger. And number 5, Instagram. Now, it's interesting as you look at this list. How many of you have heard of WhatsApp? Give me a 1 in the chat if you know what WhatsApp is. Give me a 2 if you have no clue what it is. All right, lots of ones. Good. I got a one kind of. I like it. All right. So good. Most of you know what that is. There's a couple twos, but who owns WhatsApp? Who owns Facebook Messenger? Who owns Instagram? Right? What's the biggest social network? Facebook by far. They own 4 of the top 5 social networking sites on the planet. And the amount of traffic that's going to that site daily is ridiculous, in the billions every single day. Okay. Now we're going to talk about that because some people are going, well, Facebook, it's just for posts. There's ways to use it and ways to leverage it. All right. Now I thought this was interesting too. And there is a point behind this, but the years to reach 50 million users, the radio, it took 38 years before 50 million people adopted the radio and had a radio in their home. TV, it only took 13 years before 50 million users had a TV. The internet, it took 4 years for 50 million people to adopt it. iPod took 3 years. Sorry about that. Facebook added 100 million users in the first 9 months, and Apple app downloads hit 1 billion in 9 months. Now, why am I telling you this? The speed at which things are being adopted today compared to years ago, years past, is lightning fast. I mean, some of you may or may not have heard of TikTok, one of the fastest growing social media network sites on the planet, and added like half a billion users in the first few months. Things are being adopted very fast. Now, but what's the point here? The point is, today I'm going to teach you principle-based marketing. I'm going to teach you principle-based marketing, and I'm going to teach you that things that will work 10 years from now, 10 years in the past, I'm going to teach you those things that will work no matter where and what network you're using. Because guess what? There's a possibility that a new network comes out, the network changes, and that's going to happen. But if you follow principles and use principles in your marketing, it doesn't matter what social network you're using, because no matter what, you're using a principle-based approach. Okay. All right. Now, when you're taking on social media, when you're going to start marketing on social media, there's a couple questions I want you to ask yourself. The first one is, what will my time ROI be? Okay. What will my time ROI be? Because is it possible? Is it easy? Actually, should I say, with all the content that can be digested on social media, is it possible to spend too much time on social media? And the answer is, of course, right? How many of you have ever got on social media and you're like, I'm just going to look at a quick post, and then 2 hours later, you're like, what the hell did I just do with my time? I have no idea what just happened, but I've been on social media for 2 hours, right? And you've looked at a bunch of cool pictures, but what else did you get from that, right? So you've got to remember your time ROI there, because we want to put some time in there, but there's a lot of activities for you to grow your business. There's a lot of activities you need to be doing. So we've got to balance that. Number 2, which social networks are my customers? The audience I want to target, which social networks are they on? What are they using it? And then what are they using the social network for? Okay. Why are they on Facebook? Why are they on LinkedIn? Why are they on YouTube? You got to understand your user. And then finally, how can I automate as much of that social media as possible without sounding like a robot, right? We're in a day and age that relationships and personalization is extremely important to people. People don't want this cold relationship where there's not a two-way relationship there. So you need to automate as much as you can, but you also have to sound personable and personalize your messages. I'm going to show you some tools in which you can do that on. All right. So branding, the first kind of stage that we need to do is we need to brand ourselves, right? Now, again, as you guys are going out and looking for properties and finding deals and putting deals together, guess what? Your potential investors, they have to trust you. If they're going to invest in you, because they're investing in the property, don't get me wrong, but they're also investing in you. They're investing in you as an individual. And so you have to brand yourself. You have to be seen as that expert, somebody they can trust, that they want to put money into your fund or put money into the property that you're investing in. So we want to brand ourselves. So here's a couple guidelines when you brand yourselves. First of all, you want to create a brand identity. Okay, you want to create a brand identity. And that includes a logo, professionally designed logo, a social media presence, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Those are the 3 that I'm going to focus on today, but there are plenty of other social media networks. But you want to create a consistent branding, a good looking branding. I mean, you can see that Multifamily Mindset has very consistent branding in their landing pages, in their any print that they give out, any booklets that they give out, their backdrops at the events. I mean, everything is branded very professionally, very clean, looks very good, looks very clean. And there's a level of trust that comes from that. So the question I always get is, well, do I have to have a big budget? Do I have to spend a lot of money to brand myself? And the answer is no. So let's go to a site called Fiverr. Okay. So Fiverr here is a site where people will do gigs, if you will. They'll do specific tasks or projects for you. And they put their price right on there. And you can see that I can come in here and I can search for services. So let's just go in here and just say logo design. Logos. All right, so you can see that I type in, I want to get a logo, right? And here we go. Here's one that starts at $50, and you can go in there, and I'll tell you what I look for when I'm finding somebody on Fiverr. There's two things I'm looking for. Number one, I'm looking for how many jobs have they done, and number two, I'm looking for their rating, because after somebody completes a job, you get to rate them out of 5 stars. So here we go. We see Shalene George has 6,369 projects done and a 4.9 rating. I can also go in and I can see some of the logos that she's designed. And if this is the type of logo, look and feel that I want, then I would say, okay, great. I'm going to look at this and see what she's got to offer. So if you come here, there's always a compare packages, and you can see for $50, you're going to get one logo, and it's high res. They'll do a 3D mock-up. That's and unlimited revisions. Then for $95, you're going to get 2 versions of the logo. So you get to pick from the best one you like. And then $190, you get 3. Okay. Now what's cool about this $190 is you also get a social media kit. Well, what does that mean? Well, a lot of times they'll explain it down here, but typically a social media kit is they're going to design a Facebook cover image. They're going to design a Facebook profile, LinkedIn, YouTube. They're going to brand you through all of your social media presences. And so that's why when I'm on Fiverr looking for a logo, I'm looking for a logo and a social media kit. And that will give me everything I need. I have brand consistency. And again, find somebody with a high rating that's in a high number of jobs, and you're going to get a really, really professional looking branding kit for your business that you can put on your websites. If you have that on business cards, you can put it on, whatever branding you're doing, you can have that on there. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to do in branding is you're going to create the social media kit, the accounts. So again, today I'm going to focus on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I'll go into specifics of how we can promote on them organically and paid. But we want to create a Facebook page, okay? And I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit. Again, I don't know what everybody's level of experience with social media is. So some of you are probably more experienced in saying, hey, that's pretty basic, but others are going, yes, please show me, because I don't know how to do that, right? So we're gonna kind of cover the full gamut. So we're gonna create the properties. Now, when you create the properties, whatever your brand name, let's call it, H5 Capital, right? Let's say that was the brand name or the company name you came up with. Then your Facebook page should be H5 Capital. LinkedIn business page should be H5 Capital. Your YouTube channel, H5 Capital. So you have consistency in branding there, okay? Now, once you've created your brand, you have to manage your brand. So here's a couple guidelines or rules in managing your brand. Number one, you need to be involved. You need to engage your users, engage your audience, be involved. But again, be involved, but remember your time ROI. Number two is be yourself and be transparent. This one I think is really important. A few years back, I was out front with my wife and kids. We were just playing in the driveway, and a guy comes up to me, and this is my fault. I got suckered. I will admit it. I got duped. But he's like, hey, would you like a free carpet cleaning? And I'm like, all right, cool. I won't pass up a free carpet cleaning. He's like, all right, I'll be back. So I'm like, okay, that was interesting. That was weird. And 10 minutes later, he comes back with a rainbow vacuum. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever either had I've got somebody raising their hand saying, yes, me, right? So I have personally nothing against the vacuum. In fact, it was a pretty sweet vacuum, but the experience I had with this gentleman was not good. Let me explain it. When you are putting yourselves out there and branding, and obviously our goal is to attract investors, right? That's what we're focused on today. And so I want you to be transparent with them, right? Nobody likes to be tricked into a relationship. So he comes into my house, and no joke, 3 hours later, he's still in my house. And I was already pissed because I thought he was just going to come and clean my carpets. No, he came in, dumped dirt on my carpet, and then vacuumed it up. And luckily my wife was there. I probably would have given him a little knock on the head. But I finally had to tell him to leave my house because he was pushing the issue. And again, didn't start the relationship off because he kind of tricked me into getting into my house. If he would have just told me, hey, I've got a cool vacuum cleaner. The price tag didn't scare me at all. I have this cool vacuum cleaner and I want to show it to you and it will change your life. Great. I would have either said yes or no, but I didn't get tricked into having an appointment at my house. I literally had to threaten the cops to get him out of my house. He would not leave my house. Now, again, nothing against the vacuum cleaner. It looked pretty cool, but I will personally never buy a rainbow vacuum cleaner because of that experience. So be transparent. Just be yourself and be transparent what you're trying to achieve. And then at the same time, you don't want to be too salesy. The idea is, how can I add value? What value can I add? What value am I giving? And if you add value, I think it was Dale Carnegie who said, listen first, sell second. Okay, we listen first. We add value. How can I create value for my potential partner or audience that I'm trying to target? And then next is know what people are saying. You need to know what people are saying. So here's a quick little tool to manage your brand. If you go to google.com So go to google.com/alerts. Okay. You can come in here and you can type in alerts. So let's say I wanted to get an alert about Tyler Devereaux, right? So I'm going to hit create an alert. And what it's going to do, I can come in here and I can say how often. So I can say as it happens. You definitely want to choose as it happens. And then the sources, I can say automatic. That will just say everything. Okay. And then what it's in any region. I don't care if his name shows up, I want to be alerted. And then it says only the best results. I'm going to say all results. And where do you want me to deliver that alert to? My email. So we hit update alert. So now what happens is anytime something new is posted on the internet at all, using that keyword phrase, Tyler Devereaux, I'm going to get an alert. Now, why is that important? Well, I want to know what people are saying about my brand. I've got to manage my brand and I want to respond. We talk about being involved and engaging with your audience. Well, when something is said, I want to go and engage with them. If they said something positive, I want to go and thank them for that. If they said something negative, I want to go address it head on and answer that quickly. See, we can't afford to have these negative things just sit and stew. And I'll talk about an experience here in just a second. So these are some things that you manage your brand. Now, on social media, I like to use what I call the party principle. The party principle is when you go to a party, if you want to make friends, if you want to be the popular person at the party, there's a couple things that you've got to do. Okay. Now this dude in the background, I'm guessing is not that popular because he kind of looks like a creeper, but we're going to follow the party principle. And here it is. Number one, don't be pushy. Don't be annoying or obnoxious. Try to be funny. If you're not funny, make fun of yourself. It's self-deprecation, whatever you need to do. Right. And then be kind and be memorable, right? Add value. We're talking about these things. So the party principle applies very much to social media. Again, it's about adding value. Listen first, sell second. Listen first, sell second. Okay. All right. Now, it looks like I did an alert for the wrong Tyler Devereaux. Dude, I do that all the time. My bad, man. So, yeah.
There's a Tyler, you did the right alert, but there's a Tyler Devereaux that spells his name just a little bit differently who
I don't
is an
want
adult
those
entertainer.
alerts.
You don't want those alerts, Joe. You don't
No,
want
yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad I did the right one because I was trying to be careful because I didn't want the other Tyler Devereaux coming to my inbox.
Hey, wait, Joe, maybe you do want the alerts for the other one. I don't know. Maybe your wife is managing your social media.
It would be for my wife's benefit, not for mine. So I love this story, right? I love this story because it shows how important managing your brand on social media is. Okay. I just gave you some guidelines on how to do that. Now, there's this band called the Sons of Maxwell. Okay. And oops, let's go back a little bit. There we go. There's this band called the Sons of Maxwell. And they are a band from Canada, and they were on a plane, and they were going into Chicago O'Hare Airport. And they're sitting in the plane on the tarmac, getting ready to leave from Chicago back home. And some lady yells, just kind of says out loud, "Hey, look, they're tossing the baggage, just tossing it willy-nilly." So the baggage handlers were just throwing the baggage. And this gentleman, Dave Carroll, he's the lead singer of this band. He said, he went to a flight attendant. He said, "Hey, look, I've got my guitar. I've got a very expensive guitar that I put under the plane. If you guys throw my guitar, you're going to break it." And the flight attendant said, "Sorry, there's no way for us to communicate with them. There's nothing I can do." He watches. He's like, "All right, well, bring me bring me your supervisor." Supervisor comes, says, "Hey, sorry, I can't do anything for you." So he sees and he watches them throw his guitar on the little conveyor belt. He gets home. Sure enough, his guitar, the neck of his guitar is snapped in half. And this is not a cheap guitar. So he goes to, and by the way, this is United Airlines. That will become very apparent here in a second. So he goes, he goes to the desk and the customer service is like, "Hey, you guys broke my guitar. Can you just, I'm filing a claim so you can replace it." They said, "We got to write a letter. You got to write a letter into corporate offices and they can help you." So he writes a letter. Long story short, they send him back a response saying, "Hey, because this was a connecting flight, we're not going to cover your guitar." And he's like, "Guys, come on. You broke my guitar. You should fix it. That's a decent thing to do." They said no. Long story short, they said no. He's like, "Look, I'm a musician and I do music videos for a living. If you don't fix it, I'm going to create a video and I'm going to post about it on YouTube." And they're like, "Okay, big whoop, we don't care." All right. So Dave Carroll, the Sons of Maxwell, created a YouTube video called United Breaks Guitars. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you because I love it. So let's hear it here. Can you guys hear it? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
United Airlines on my way to Nebraska. Plane departed Halifax, connecting in Chicago's O'Hare. While on the ground, the passengers hid from the scene behind me. My God, they're throwing guitars out there. difference towards me. United, you broke my Taylor guitar.
That's the guitar right there.
Some big help you are.
I'll let it play the chorus and we'll finish it up.
Your line just ended. Should have flown with someone else or gone by car. 'Cause United brings guitars.
All right. So there you have it. Now, so he posts this. In an interview after this went viral, he said, my goal was to get 250,000 views and I would have felt vindicated. Okay. In the first 4 months, this video had almost 8 million views and it went viral. Now, all of a sudden, Dave Carroll gets a call and guess who it is? It's United. And they say, hey, Mr. Carroll, we would like to take care of that Taylor guitar that we accidentally broke. And the only requirement we have is that you take that video off of YouTube. Now, he's like, look, I already bought a new guitar. I don't need the money. So why don't you take that money you would have paid and donate it to charity? And if you do that, I will take the video down. They said, absolutely. Yes, we'll do that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we are on YouTube live and that video is still up. Why? Well, guess what? They never paid the charity. They never paid the charity. This video now has over 20 million views. And he created another song called United Breaks Guitars 2. And United Break Guitar 2, there it is again. He talks about the promise. And guess what? It has now over 2.3 million views. Now, here's the point. It's estimated that these videos have cost United over $180 million. Now you go, well, how can you measure that? Well, guess what? There was no other bad press besides these videos when this came out. It's been years now, but their stock price plummeted. It went down 10% after these videos went viral. All from not managing your brand, all from not taking care and responding quickly. Now, I love it. I love that he did that. It's as you can tell, it's a catchy song, but you have to manage your brand. It used to be that when a customer had a good experience or a client had a good experience, they'd tell 3 people. And when they had a bad experience, they'd tell 11 to 21. That used to be the same. Now that's not the same. When they have a bad experience, they tell 217 people. When they have a good experience, they tell 217. What is that number? The average number of friends people have on Facebook. If somebody has a good experience, they're going to talk about it. They have a bad experience, guess what? They're going to talk about it. Okay, so you've got to manage your brand on social media. All right. So now we've kind of given you an overview of social media. We've kind of given you an intro to it and managing your brand. We're going to get into the weeds here. Before I move on, I want to pause for just a minute or two and see, are there any questions that anyone has up to what we've covered so far? And just go ahead and chat them into the chat box if you have any questions. If not, we'll keep going. All right. I'm not seeing anything come in, so let's keep going then. All right. So I'm going to, on this next screen, I did get approval from Tyler on this because I don't want to offend anyone, obviously, but I think it's very applicable to what we're going to teach. Now, I'm going to put an image up on the screen, and I want you to chat into the chat box who you think the millionaire is in this picture. Ready? Go. Who is the millionaire in this picture? See, I'm not seeing anybody chat. Are we still awake? Let's do this. Says Brett. Lots of asterisks, right? The girl, absolutely, right? Okay, now here's the thing. Kudos to her because she knew exactly, no judgment here, right? No judgment at all. I'm sure they're deeply in love. They just love each other and no judgment here. Kudos to her for knowing what she wants and kudos to him for also knowing what he wants. But you've got to know what you want and you've got to go find them and go attract them. And I think she did a good job of that. All right. So when you are determining your target audience, you've got to figure out, who am I marketing to? What's the gender? What's the age? What's the income? What are their likes, interests, goals, aspirations? You need to know your audience. Number 2, I like to simplify things. There's no need to complicate it. Number 1, figure out who they are. Number 2, figure out where they congregate. And number 3, get in front of them. Super scientific there, super technical. Who are they? Where are they? Get in front of them, okay? I'm going to show you how to do that. So I built a tool for you guys, and everyone will have access to this. So it's called audiencetool.engager.ai. Okay, you can go to that website, and you're going to get this tool right here. It's going to bring up this tool right here. Now, by default, it's going to bring you up to this screen right here. Now, this is locked. So in order to use it, all you've got to do is go File, make a copy, and make a version of it for yourself, okay? Because this is the template, so I don't want anybody editing the template. But what you have on here is this questionnaire that will help you come up with your target audience and who you want to be targeting. So let's take a look. Here's some of the questions that you want to ask yourself. What's their background? What is their job title? What's their life stage? Where are they at in life? Do they have kids? Are they kids out of the house? Are they empty nesters? What's their career path? What does their family look like? Demographics, sex, age, location, average income, language, interests. This one's important. What other brands, and I'll explain why this is so important here in a little bit. What other brands do they interact with on social media? That's a really important one, and I'll talk about that in a second. Other relevant traits, any additional information that you have on that potential target audience would be good right here. Their favorite social media networks, which ones are they most active on and why? Which are they least active on and which ones do they not like, so we wouldn't want to market there and spend money? Buying behavior, okay? How does social media fit into their overall picture and how they're finding and buying and researching? How does that fit into that picture? What's their spending power? What's their disposable income look like? What's their investable income look like? How do they approach purchase decisions? How do they approach investments? What do they look for? What are they after? Okay. Challenges. What are their customers' pain points? What are your potential audience's pain points? And what are their goals? Okay. And then how can we as a business, a product or service, solve those challenges that they have? The most successful businesses solve a problem. That's it. Okay. If you want to be good in business, solve problems, plain and simple, you'll be great at business. Okay. What is their purchasing barriers? Why haven't they gone out and done this for themselves? Why are they not investing in multifamily properties right now? What's been their barrier to entry? Maybe it's time, maybe it's knowledge, maybe it's know-how, maybe it's connections, whatever it is, figure those out because those are the pain points. Those are the things we're going to address. And then how will we position our solution to them? And then what's their preferred content type? Do they like images? Do they like video? Do they like audio? Do they like podcasts? Do they like, what is it that they want to digest? And what's the voice and the tone? So again, this template, all of you can use. Again, you just need to make a copy of it and you can fill that out as you go and determine who your target audience is, okay? The more you know about your audience, the better, because this allows us to find people in areas that other people are not looking. Your competitors, there are places your competitors are not looking. And the more you know about your audience, the better you will be able to attract your audience to you. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute. All right. If you want to dig in and get some more details, there's a tool called QuantCast. Let me show you this tool as well. So if we go to QuantCast, let me pull it up. Over here in QuantCast, you'll see that right here, when you create an account, it's free. And on the right-hand side, it says research other sites. So let's say that we know that, we know that a lot of our target markets, and remember how I told you, I said, well, what social media sites, what websites do they visit? So let's say that they're very involved in politics. Okay, so Politico.com. Now, again, I'm not going to get into politics at all. I said politics. Is that even a freaking word? I don't even know what I just said there. Politics, right, excuse me. So let's say they visit Politico.com. So let's go ahead and search Politico.com. It's going to take a second, but I want to show you how powerful this website is. Because what it's going to allow us to do is we're digging, we're extrapolating, we're finding hidden gems that other people aren't looking for. But what QuantCast is going to do is it's going to tell us the behavior of people who visit this website and who they are. It's going to tell us what insurances they have, what credit cards they have. There's a ton of data being aggregated here. So we're looking at the data set for Politico.com. And you can type in, not every website is on QuantCast, so I want to clarify that. Not every website is. But you can type a website that you know your audience is visiting and see if it's in here. We can see some basic demographic information. What is their gender? What is their household income? So what do we know about people visiting Politico? Well, guess what? They typically have a little bit higher disposable income, a little bit higher net worth. Their annual revenue is a little bit higher than the average American. Is that who we're targeting? Yes, we're targeting people who have more income that want to invest in these types of properties, these types of deals. We can see the age group. Interesting. Look at this. It skews older, 45 to 65. Guess what? If I had to guess, that's who I would have guessed our target audience would be. Okay. Do they have children? Look, they're probably empty nesters. The kids are already the house. This is the age group we're looking for. We can see the ethnicity. We can see their education level. Most of them, by a big majority, have been to grad school, so they're highly educated as well. That's great. That's some good demographic. But now we can get into their browsing interests, their shopping interests, their brand affinities, their media interests. These things help us understand what our audience is doing and what they're interested in, because these are potential areas that we can have our ads show up to be in front of these people. Remember, we said, who are they? Where are they? Get in front of them. It's that simple. Okay. So shopping interests. Let's look at this. So let's go into financial. Let's look at their financial habits if we can. So if we go to brand affinity and when we search by we see Geico, State Farm, Allstate, Progressive, Citibank, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Capital One. Now we can look at the composition, meaning most utilization, Visa, MasterCard, American Express. We can dig in a little bit further. We can say, all right, what credit card do they most have? American Express. Again, I would have assumed that, but the data is now backing that up, right? We can look at, let's see what else they have. Home equity. How much equity do they have in their home? We can look at investable assets, right? We can look at what type of investable assets they have. Now, interesting enough, you see that the highest is under 10K. That kind of says, oh, okay, well, maybe this isn't who we're looking for. Maybe this site isn't somewhere we want to target. But look at this, 500K to $1 million. About 5% of the users on Politico have a pretty good net worth to be able to go and find those individuals that we are particularly looking for that could invest in these funds that we're creating, okay? We could go to their mortgages and balances. I mean, there's a lot that we can find. And I know some of you right now are going, dude, this is creepy. I didn't know I could just find this information online. Yeah, it's not giving the specific person's data. It's aggregating it, so you don't have to worry about it. As a marketer, I don't think this is creepy. I think this is freaking awesome, right? Because now I can target who I want to target online. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm actually crying a little bit. It's that beautiful. So this Quantcast is an awesome tool to dig in and really understand your audience. Who are they? Where are they? Get in front of them. All right. So let's continue. Now, I told you I want to spend, we've got about, another 45 minutes of content, and I'm going to open it up to Q&A. Facebook, okay? Now, give me a 1 in the chat if you just hate Facebook. Just give me a 1 in the chat if you hate Facebook. Give me a 2 if you love it. A 1.5, I love that. On Facebook because of how powerful the targeting is. So let's take a look. With Facebook, here's a couple things. There's 2.8 billion monthly active users on Facebook. Every month, almost 3 billion people are active on social media, are on Facebook. 190 million active users in the US. Fastest growing sector specifically on Facebook is 60 plus. Okay. Now, if you ask my kids who are in the younger generation, I've got 2, almost 3 teenagers, and they are like, dude, Facebook's for old people. That's what they tell me all the time. And I'm like, well, great, because that's who I'm trying to target. So that's where I want to be, right? But so it's definitely our audience that we want to be. 86% of internet users with 100K in income or above use Facebook. So high income earners, right, are on Facebook. 98.3% of Facebook users are on mobile. 73% of them log in the US every single day. And in this one actually is, let me be honest, this one's sad. 53% of Americans get their news from Facebook. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how much I would trust the news coming off of Facebook. I'm just saying, but 53% of Americans get their news from Facebook. So what does that mean? That means that the news that we are going to produce, the content we are going to produce is going to get digested, and that's what we want. Because again, we're adding value, we're adding information, we're adding content that we want our audience to digest. Now, I'm going to break strategy. Now we're going to get in. We're jumping down to the weeds at this point. So I'm going to actually jump in and show you some specific strategies that I want you to start employing that you can go and find these people. So we've gone through and figured out how to identify our audience. Now we're going to get in front of them. Who are they? Where are they? Facebook. And how do we get in front of them? That's what we're going to talk about. Now, I'm going to break my strategies into 2 things. Organic versus paid. Organic means AKA free. Organic is free. And paid is just like it sounds, paid, right? You have to pay for it. Now, about 2 to 3% of your users will see your organic post. It's not very high. Why do you think Facebook does that? Because they're trying to push you to paid. It's a money game for Facebook. That's it. If they say they care about anything else, I've got a couple questions about where are you pulling these Facebook stats? This is coming from Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a social media platform where I get all my data from. They do a lot of data aggregation and I can send the resources to you guys if you want as far as where the data is coming from. But it's coming from Hootsuite. Now, I don't care what Facebook says. If Facebook's like, oh, we care about you, we love you, we care about, no, they don't. No, bullcrap. They care about money and that is it. They don't care about anything else. Money is the only thing they care about. Otherwise, they would open up their organic listings. So that way, when I build an audience organically, I can actually send crap to my, not crap because it's gonna be awesome stuff, but send stuff to my organic followers. They are pushing you to pay them. It is, it's a pay to play game. It's okay. There are some grassroots strategies that we can do, right? On Facebook that take some time, but they can yield some good results. So organic free strategies, here you go. Number 1 is Facebook groups, okay? There's more than 1.4 billion people using Facebook groups every single month. Okay, let's take a look. How does this work? And how can we use Facebook groups? Let's dig in. So I'm gonna go to Facebook and let's jump in. All right, we're gonna go to Facebook. I'm logging into my personal Facebook. I hope my mom didn't post something about my language on here again because I don't want to be embarrassed in front of you guys. All right, so we're gonna go right up here to the top left, Facebook, and we're gonna search. Now, we are going to, well, actually, before we do that, on the left-hand side, if you go to groups, okay, we're gonna go to groups. Okay, and now it allows me to search just groups because I just want, at this point, I'm only focused on groups. So let's go in and let's type in funding, for example. All right, I'm going to type in the word funding. Now, it's going to take a second, and we see that there's these groups all around funding, and I'm going to click see all. Okay, so in here, we can start to sift through the different groups around funding. And as you can tell, I could scroll for days because there are literally thousands of groups around funding. That doesn't mean they're all applicable to us. So let's take a look. Here we go, funding 30-day challenge. Want to get money to grow your business in 2021? Join us for the funding challenge. Nah, probably not. Fundwise Partners, let's look at this. Fundwise Partners helps entrepreneurs grow their business by referring, let's see what it says. I just want to see their description, by referring them to Fundwise Capital to get the best funding quality for blah, blah, blah. So they refer them to funding partners. It may be a group we want to join. Now, I'm going to talk about that part of it here in a second. Investment Fund Secrets, a group of entrepreneurs and investors. All right, guess what? I guarantee there's probably a few individuals in this group that have money that they're looking to invest. So this would probably be a group that I'm going to join. GoFundMe and other crowdfunding campaigns. Yeah, probably not relevant. Funding hackers. An epic tribe of real estate investors. Interesting. Now we're digging into real estate investors, private money lenders, and business owners. All right, there's only 628 members in it, but that's a group I'm going to join. Okay, and I'm finding venture capital and private equity, small business. I could even hone in and say real estate funding and dig in even deeper. And let's just see what we get. Private money for real estate investors. All right, there's 28,000 members in this group. Done. I'm going to join it. Off-market real estate deals. Wholesaling, maybe, right? Private money funding for real estate investors. Okay, right? Now, again, not necessarily that we're looking for hard money or private investors, but, and I'm not saying that all of these groups are going to work for your needs, but I guarantee in each of these groups, there's probably a gem or two that you're going to be able to create a relationship that becomes a good long-term funding partner with you and all the deals that you do in the future. Now, here's some rules. When joining a Facebook group like this, all of them have rules. Step one, read their rules. Always read their terms of service because they will always have rules that say you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. So when you join the group, it is not a promotion fest, an advertising fest. It is a provide value, listen first, sell second. We're going to network. That's all we're doing here. We're networking with individuals. We're watching this. We're seeing what types of people are posting in there. We're seeing it. Let's say that I see somebody in there that posts, hey, I'm looking to invest, $100K into a real estate fund. That would be somebody we want to connect with. I'm not going to connect with them in the group. I'm going to then click on their personal name and I'm going to connect with them personally, individually on Facebook and other means. I'm going to try to connect with them there. Okay. So that's how we can use, again, it's a little bit more of a grassroots and dig in and just go in there and start searching these groups for people that we could, our potential funding partners that we can work with. Okay. Number two is, again, we talked about branding earlier. You need to create a page. I promise that your potential investors are going to check you out. They're going to research you. They want to know they can trust. They want to know who they're going to work with. They want to know your track record. They want to know things about you. And so your Facebook page, your business page, I'm going to show you how to set it up here in a second. Your business page is a good way to be able to disseminate that information. Now, there's a couple tools. There's this image sizes guide. Okay. There it is again, Hootsuite, right? This gives you the image. As you're setting up your social media images, this is just a guide that tells you how big those images should be, your profile photo, your cover photos. It just gives you the dimensions on that. And I'll make sure you get this link, okay? Number two is you can use Canva. It's a free tool. You go to canva.com and start designing your Facebook covers. So say you don't want to outsource it, you don't want to pay somebody, you can design pretty good looking Facebook covers because again, you want to look professional. Canva.com is free. And then Fiverr again, of course. Fiverr gives you, you pay for it, right? And it's a social media kit. And then you start posting relevant content. You need to post content that your audience would want to digest, You want to post content that your audience would want to digest, okay? Again, you want to brand your company as a real estate investing expert and multifamily property investing expert or investing expert, okay? They will check out your page. Now, I've created a template for you, and I'll make sure all of you get this. But I've created a couple of social media templates. This is a cool little hack, if you will, that I use to create Facebook images, is you can actually go into a PowerPoint or Google Slides, and you can create your Facebook posts right in Google Slides. You do a 1-by-1, Okay, so 10 inches by 10 inches, 8 inches by 8 inches. The dimensions are 1 by 1. Okay, and you can craft really quick images right into PowerPoint, and then you can export them as a JPEG or a PNG. So it's the fastest way. If you don't want to learn Photoshop or any of these other tools, you can just do it in a PowerPoint or slides. And we've given you this template. I'm going to actually work with Tyler and his team to create a couple different templates that you guys can use to post on social media. So that will be a tool that I'll send out to the team, to all of you that have attended today. And you'll be able to just go in and customize those to your needs and then export them and turn them into Facebook content. There's another tool here, $99social.com. So you can pay this company $99 a month, and they will post every single day on your social media platforms for you. They'll learn your voice. They'll post the type of content you want them to do. So if you're one of those people that hates social media and you don't want to do it yourself, you can pay it $100 a month. It's not much. And somebody will go and post content for you every single day. Now, if you pay, I think it's like $149 a month, they will post on 2 different networks every single day. So maybe it's LinkedIn and Facebook. But again, very, very cheap. But you want to be producing content so when these potential investors come see, they have that content. Okay. All right. So that's organic Facebook strategies. Now let's jump into paid strategies. Now this is where I have spent a lot of time, spent tens of millions of dollars on Facebook and YouTube and different platforms over 20 plus years. People ask me how long I've been doing digital marketing. I tell them since before Google was a verb. That's my typical response to everybody. I've been doing it for a long time. Now, paid strategies. I'm going to walk you through this. We are now going to get into the weeds. I'm just warning you. Some of your heads may explode because I'm going to click a lot. I'm going to move around a lot. This is being recorded. And I know that Jackson said that all of you will get access to the recording so you can go back and watch this on how to do this. But
That's correct.
yeah,
Sure.
Thumbs up. There we go. Excuse me. All right. Create a business manager account. So you're going to go to business.facebook.com. Let's do that. I'm going to have to do it in an incognito window because I already have one. Then I'll show it to you. So business.facebook.com. And right up here in the top right, it says create an account. So we're going to hit create an account. It is going to have you log in with your usual Facebook account. That's totally fine. That's what we want. So you're just going to log in and it's going to walk you through a sign-up process. Just fill out the information and that's it. I mean, that's how you set up an account. That's the easy part. Now, so let's jump in, and what I want to go through is I'm going to show you how to review the audience's insights and then do a Facebook campaign, and we're going to do a demo of that, okay? And then I've got another tool that I put together for you that you can use, and I'll show you how we use that in just a second. And then lastly, I'm going to get into lead ads versus landing page conversions. So that's kind of an overview of what we're going to go through on the Facebook strategy. All right. Excuse me. So let's go to business.facebook.com. Now, obviously, I'm going to have a bunch of different business accounts in here. You can see all the different business accounts that I have. We're just going to come in here. And so once you've set up a business account, okay, a Facebook business account, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to attach your Facebook page. You're looking at the multifamily mindset one right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in, attach our page and create an ads account. So to do that, all you're going to do is come over here where it says Ads Manager and hit Create Account. That's it. You put in your credit card on file. Now, it's very important that you go through the process of verifying your identity. Facebook is cracking down on that, and they're not just letting anybody advertise on their platform. So you do need to go through and verify all of your information. Name, address, business name. If you have an EIN number, put it in there. Website, phone number, email. They want all of it, because that's going to help them verify and know who is actually advertising on the platform. Now, what I want to show you is some of the tools inside of Facebook. So if I go in and I click on this little hamburger menu here, or whatever it's called, okay, and you scroll down, you're going to have this spot right here that says Analyze and Report, okay? There's a tool inside of Facebook called Audience Insights. All right, so we go to Audience Insights. Now, this tool, just so you know, this tool is kind of being phased out by Facebook, but it's still somewhat functional. There's still some really, really good nuggets that we can find here. So the first thing it's going to ask you is everyone on Facebook or people have connected with your page. If your page is brand new, we don't care about that. So we're going to go to everyone on Facebook, okay? And now it lets us to start to find audiences, find people. You see that it's saying that this audience is 150 to 200 million people because it's looking at everyone right now in the United States. And it's showing you the breakdown of age and gender, relationship status, education level, what their job titles are, but we want to hone in a little bit. So let's go in and we are going to say that we want to stay in the US, but maybe we want to stay between 35 to 64. Maybe that's who determined our target audience is. So let's go to, so we're now setting some parameters. Notice that these numbers are changing. So 35 to 64, excuse me. All right, now we're going to jump into interests. So let's type in real estate investing. So let's go real estate investing here. So now, looks like I chose the wrong one. So let's go real. Sometimes it won't have data on it. So if you get nothing over here, you just have to refine your search a little bit. There we go. So we typed in people that have interest in real estate investing. We see that the audience size on Facebook is about 5 million, somewhere between 4.5 to 5 million people. It's a pretty big audience, okay? Now, it's going to show me that the breakdown is 53% women, 47% men. It also breaks down the age group. Now, again, we set a filter, but so we say right here, we've got 35 to 44, that's the biggest group, then 45 to 54, 55 to 64, and 65 and older, and it gives us a breakdown of users. We can see that their relationship status is 64% of them are married, and 64% of them have had college, some college, and then 9% of them in grad school. Now, job title, this is where it becomes pretty interesting. This is where we can start to find audiences on Facebook that we can advertise to. So we see that job titles, they've listed business and finance, they've listed IT and technical services, administrative services, so it's probably some executive level, sales, we've got a lot in sales, and management, okay? So that's, and you can click see all and you can see other job titles and whatnot as well, but we can dig in. Now we can go and say, well, what pages do they like on Facebook? So we can see real estate investing events. All right, this is a particular page that we can now target. So when you run ads on Facebook, you can say, show my ads to people who like this page, right? Or Blogger, the points guy. I don't know what that is, but he's got a page and I'd go do some research on what that is. And if it's relevant to my audience, I would say, Facebook, show my ads to people.
You need a raise.
Show my ads to people on the points guide. Health and wellness website, okay? blackdoctor.org, cleanfoodcrush.com. Again, I'm going to research all these sites. I don't know what they are. Facebook is just telling me that people that I'm trying to target these are the pages they like. These are the things that they look. Travel agency, bookvip.com. Interesting. Book VIP. If we went to that, we'd see.
On this side over here, I have the
hey,
administrative
Jackson,
office.
can we get that muted, please?
I muted it. Somehow it keeps getting unmuted.
Okay,
I don't know
awesome.
what's
Thanks.
happening there. I keep muting it as it gets unmuted. So.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So Book VIP is an interesting one. Book VIP is private jets. Now, do you think people that have some disposable income are flying privately? I would venture to guess, yes, they are. And this is a perfect audience that we would want to target. And so we'd say, Facebook, show my ads to people who like or visit bookvip.com. And you can keep going, Zillow. I mean, you can see this whole long list of all the different pages on Facebook that they like. Zig Ziglar, Trent Shelton, these are motivational speakers. You can see kind of what they like. So I'm going to, again, who are they? Where are they? This is telling us where they are and get in front of them. Facebook, run my ads to people who have liked these things. And then we're going to test and see how effective that is for us. Now, we can also see right here the relevance, real estate investing events, JJ Smith, the points guy. You can see how relevant, and it shows you kind of what each of these mean. How likely your audience is to like a given page compared to everyone else on Facebook. 156 times more probable that they will like this page than others that are not inside my interest group. So you can go in and play with this. You can find out what location and what activities they've taken. You can see that pages liked. Lifetime too. So that means they don't like a lot of pages, and that's okay, right? Ads clicked. That means they are very active in clicking ads. That is a good sign. We like to see that, meaning I can put my ads in front of them, and those are the people that I want to target because they're active on the ads, all right? So that's the Facebook's audience insights. Now let's dig in and let's actually build a campaign. Let me show you how some of the targeting that's capable. So let's go in here. So we're going to go to Ads Manager. Yeah, we're going to leave that. And I'm going to actually switch out of this account. We're going to go to a demo account. Let's go to business settings. And let's go to this one. All right, add accounts. All right, so let's go in and let's go to Ads Manager now. Okay, this is a testing account. So let's see how this works. So what we're going to do, this is your format. This is your setup of Facebook ads. So the Facebook's Ads Manager. You have campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Campaigns are your top level, okay? And you can set budgets here. You can control location. Well, you can do that at the ad set level too. So campaigns are your overarching structure. Your ad sets are your specific, we'll dig in. Let me show you. So I think it's easier to understand if I just show you. So we're going to hit create. Now, the first thing you need to do is pick an objective for your campaign. Brand awareness just means I want to get my brand out there. The cost on that's going to be fairly cheap. Same thing with reach. But we're not really after that awareness campaign. We're after conversions. We want actual actions taken. Now, the other thing is I can do lead gen. Now, this is what I want to talk about between lead forms and landing page. So Facebook allows you to actually put a Facebook form. So you can create a form in Facebook that would capture name, phone number, email, and whatever questions you want. That would be a lead generation campaign. And we'll do one of those so I can show you that. I've seen how we're doing on time. Lead generation, okay? Conversions would be if you were going to send them to a landing page or a website that you own or control, and you want to send them to a landing page. And then it would say when they hit a particular page on that website, it triggers and said, hey, this became a conversion. I'll show you that as well. So let's start with lead generation. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue. All right, and it's saying, what do you want to name your campaign? So we're going to say RE Investor and Investment Fund LA. I use LA for lead ads, Facebook lead ads. Okay, then we're going to come in here. It allows you to do an A/B test. So that means I can run 50% of the traffic to this and 50% to that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's a little bit more complicated. Campaign budget optimization. Right now, it's defaulted to off. And what that does is if you have more than one ad set, Facebook is going to actually try to balance your budgets. So that way it determines whichever one's working the best, it's going to spend your money for you. I typically want to control that myself, but it's not a bad option to have campaign budget optimization on, but I'm going to leave it off right now. All right, so that's it at the campaign level. Now we're going to hit next, and it's saying, all right, what's your ad set? At the ad set level, this is where we're going to create our targeting. If I'm going to target a specific location, it's going to allow me to target what interest groups and things like that. So let's go in here. And let's call this ad set bookvip.com INGR. I use INGR for interest group. Okay. So we're going to pick our page that so you do have to have a Facebook page that you're running out of. Let's just say it's this one. Actually, I'm just going to pick American Money. There we go. I've got a page called American Money. So let's go ahead and we're going to mark it from that page. We're using instant form, or I can do an automated chat, which would take them right into Messenger. And all the while, anytime I change something, I can see right now I'm about to reach 220 million people based on this. It will get more and more small. It will get more narrow as we hone in on that. Okay. And I can set my daily budget. Let's say I want to set a daily budget of $50. Okay. I can set a start date and an end date. Great. This is where I start to get into my audience. Who do I want to target? Now, remember, I put Book VIP. Where did that come from? From my audience insights research. So let's go in and let's just say that I want to target just the US. That's what it's defaulted to. You can actually target at zip code level. So let's say you just wanted to target Beverly Hills. So we'd go 90210. Okay. I did a lot of promotion for, I don't know, some of you may know Josh Altman. He's on a TV show called $1 Million Listing. And we did a lot of promotion. I do a lot of promotion for Josh Altman and finding buyers of homes in Beverly Hills. So we target specifically Beverly Hills and people living in that area. There's other targeting we do as well, but you get the idea. I can target down to a zip. I can target an area. So let's say Los Angeles. I just want to do Los Angeles City, or I can do a market. DMA is the market. Let's just say the city. And let's say I want to target a 25-mile radius around Los Angeles, or I could say a 40-mile radius. So we target that, and now it's targeting people that live within this circle right here. Then one very important thing that you need to check, and I see people make this mistake all the time, is this right here. Right now we have it set to people living in or recently in this location. If I only want to target a geo, I don't want to choose that option. I want to choose people living in this location. Okay. I was in Maui about a month ago. My whole family went out to visit Tyler and have some fun out in Maui. And I'm still getting ads targeted to me on Facebook for Maui. That is a perfect example of an advertiser that does not know what they're doing, because they're still targeting me for Maui attractions. And I'm not obviously in Maui, but I was there. That's why you need to make sure you're targeting the people that are living in the location if you're going to geo-target. Otherwise, frankly, for me, I'm going to target the whole US, right? So let's say United States. Right there. So we're targeting, and we can see it'll load and say 220 million people. Now let's hone in. Remember, we decided based on the research that our audience is 35, let's just say, to 64. And they don't allow you to target, it's just 65 and older. So it's 64. Okay. Now notice what happened to the target size. It's now 100 million people. But remember, we want to go in and say book VIP. So let's go in and let's hit edit. And this will let me add interest groups. So I can say book VIP. Let's see what we get. Ooh, so it's not showing us anything. Sometimes that will happen, and that's okay. So now we have to get a little bit creative. So let's go private transport, private equity, private healthcare, private banking. Let's see, private. Okay, private air. Air hostess training, no. Private air luxury homes magazine. Look at the audience size. It's only 13,000. I don't love that. So we're gonna keep digging. Okay. So let's say then let's target maybe a different audience. Let's say that we know we want to run an ad specifically to doctors. So let's go in. You can either type it in or you can hit this browse, and you can go to interests, right? Or excuse me, demographics, and you can see work. Okay. And then you can go to industries, and it will show you different industries like healthcare and medical services. Or I can come in here and I can go to job titles and I can do a search. So let's do doctor, and let's see if we can find that. All right, this is why I'm going to have you advertise on LinkedIn, because it's a lot easier to do this. So let's do, we knew that management was in there. We knew that IT and technical was in there. Let's do this. Let's do healthcare. I'll show you how we can get around since it's not letting me do doctors. Okay, so we're going to do healthcare and medical services. Again, we want to run an ad to a doctor and saying we're going to, maybe run an ad about the tax benefits of investing in multifamily and that. And we're going to say a doctor with a high net worth, a lot of income needs the tax benefits. So we might advertise to them. Okay, so we're going to say I want everybody in the healthcare, but we're going to narrow this audience. Notice we're at 1.2 million. Let's narrow the audience a little bit, and let's go into. We're going to hit browse and demographics. And we're going to, sorry, let me move this a little. We're going to income. All right, so if you just type in income, we want to do, notice that it lets me market by top 5%, top 10%, top 10 to 25%, top 25 to 50%. So let's say we want to market to, let's say the top 25% of incomes, or maybe even the top 10. Doesn't matter, we can control that here. So I'm going to say top 10, and then we're going to do it again, income, and we're going to say top 5. And let's see what our audience size is. Our audience size is 160,000 people. It's a little small. So let's open that up just a tad. And let's go income. And let's go top 10 to 25. Now we see about 380,000 in our audience. Good. We like that. So now what we're going to do is it's telling me I can get, based on my budget, about 5 to 16 leads per day. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, let's jump in and hit next. Now I'm going to create the ads. Okay. Now I don't have any ads created. I should have thought about that, but we're going to come in and we're going to click. And I got an image for us already. We're just going to default use that image. And we might say you've got your primary text, your headline, your description. And so your headline is going to show right here. So 5 tax secrets for doctors. Again, I'm doing this off the cuff. That's actually not a great headline. We would actually spend some time to come up with a good headline. And then we could say, attention doctors, because again, we want to qualify who this ad is for. We want to qualify who we're targeting. Did you know that there's a little known tax loophole that can save you thousands in taxes? And then we'd write some copy. And we again, I want to qualify the click. A lot of people are like, I want to trick them into clicking my ad. No, I don't want to do that, because when they click the ad, guess what? You pay for it. I don't want to do that. I want to qualify the person that is going to click on my ad. So I'm going to tell them exactly what this is about. Did you know there's a little tax loophole that can save you thousands, that can save doctors thousands in taxes? Investing in multifamily properties can bring these tax benefits. I'm going to write copy around that. And I'm going to say something like, we're building a fund specifically for doctors where we can help you save thousands in taxes. Again, I'm just going off the cuff here. So now we're going to go in and we're going to create a form. And we're going to say test form. And now what we're going to do is it's going to allow us to put an image as the background. We're going to keep the image there. It's using the same image as the ad. And the headline would be download free tax secrets guide or whatever. Okay. Again, I would give them something of value. I'm going to give them a tax guide of value, and you can put text here, text here. So you write that text. Okay. You can see what we're seeing. You can also make it a list. Then we're going to go to the questions. So right now we're just asking their email and the full name. You can drag around these. Let's say we want their phone number. So I'm going to come in here and hit add and then put phone number. And now it's going to ask their full name, email, and phone number. I can ask other things as well, but the more questions you ask, the less likely they are to fill it out. Right now, we just want a lead that we can then work and talk to after the fact, okay? So we're gonna hit next, right? And then you gotta have a privacy policy. So we're gonna go HTTP. I'm just using multifamily mindsets right now. You put your link text in there, and then when it's completion, it says, thanks, you're all set. Click the button to download your free guide or whatever, okay? And then you can change the text view website to say download guide now, and then you'd put a link to wherever that download is. Maybe it's on a landing page, and we hit publish. So now, oops, we need to put that on there. I told you we were going to get in the weeds, and we are definitely in the weeds. All right, privacy. There we go. And we publish this. Now we can run. We will use. Don't type what I just typed. You have to tell them why you're gathering this information. We'll use this to contact you. That's obviously horrible. Be creative in why you're gathering the information. Now we publish this. Now we can publish this ad and drive people to a Facebook forum. Or I could send them, in the conversions, I can send them to a landing page. And the only difference is instead of showing an instant form, it will say, well, what page do you want to send them to? Okay. That was a lot of stuff. We just covered a lot of stuff. We went pretty deep in that, but I'm hoping that that was beneficial for you to see how you can use Facebook to find audiences and then run campaigns to target specific people that you want to work with to invest in your deals. Okay. So that's Facebook. Now let's jump into, we're getting to the point where I'm going to open it up for Q&A, and I know there's some questions on there. So I'll answer all those questions there. So I just want to get through LinkedIn really quick to go through this. All right, with LinkedIn, organic strategies on LinkedIn. Same thing with LinkedIn groups. I'll show you that in just a second. And then you can also do a little grassroots by doing manual outreach, and I'll show you that as well. And then you create a page for your business. The tools, again, are the same that you would use for Facebook, okay? There you go. So let's dig into, or that's organic. And then paid strategies would be you can create an advertiser account and then do a paid campaign. So let's look at that really quick. All right, so we're gonna go into LinkedIn. So if I log into LinkedIn here, this is my LinkedIn page. At the top right, at the top right, there's this button called advertise. So you're gonna click on advertise. You need to create your business page first. You do have to create that. So if you go to business.linkedin.com, you can create a business page, the same as a Facebook page, okay? And you can see, here's my campaign manager. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna go to the Wealth Retreat. This is a brand that we have. And let's just walk through creating a campaign, right? Well, actually, I'm gonna show you what an ad looks like first, and then I'll create a campaign. So here's an ad that we ran for Kevin O'Leary. So we ran an ad for Kevin O'Leary in the Shark Tank, and you can see there's all the content. This is what the ad looks like. Click for free Toronto area tickets live with Kevin O'Leary. There's the content. You can see that's what an ad is going to look like on LinkedIn. So now let's go through and actually set up an account and run an ad. And then I'll show you the manual outreach. So what you're going to do is you are going to go into create an account. You just create an account, and you're going to hit create campaign group. So let's just call this test. You can do a start date. So let's schedule the start date for today. We hit save. Okay. Wait for it to load. Ready to go. There it is. Okay, so we're going to go to our test campaign. Now we're going to hit, that was our campaign group. Now we're going to hit a create campaign. Each tool or each platform, Facebook, YouTube, Google, they do it a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same thing. You have campaigns, ad groups or ad sets, and ads. They all kind of function the same way. So let's hit next. Now, same thing. It's going to say, what is your objective? So brand awareness, nope. Video views, engagement, video websites, nope. We want lead gen. LinkedIn now allows you to do lead gen with a lead form right in LinkedIn, or you can send them to a website conversion. We'll go ahead and hit website conversion for now. The LinkedIn form is awesome, by the way. It's just like Facebook where, and I didn't mention this, but there is a benefit to keeping people in platform. So if you're running an ad taking people out of Facebook to a landing page, that typically is going to cost you a little bit more than if you kept them on Facebook, because Facebook doesn't want people leaving Facebook. LinkedIn doesn't want people leaving LinkedIn. So if you keep them on platform, your costs are going to be typically a little bit cheaper. Now, the flip side of that is that the lead is typically not as good, because when they click to that lead form, their data is already pre-populated. So a lot of times they'll download a free report and not even realize because the information was already pre-populated. I like to send them to a landing page because there's a tiny bit more friction. It proves to me that they're a little bit more serious, okay? So we've chosen website conversions. where do you want to target your audience? We're going to just say the US. And then it's allowing me to target audiences that I have created or use LinkedIn's targeting. So we're going to use LinkedIn's targeting. And let's say that we're going to go to, let's do demographics here. Come on. No, let's do job experience. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So job experience. So what we're going to do is we're looking for job titles. So we're going to go in, we're going to click job title, and let's type in doctor. Again, we kind of stuck with that theme. So let's do medical doctor. Let's start with a medical doctor because we know that's a little bit more specific. So then I can see, okay, under medical doctor, there are actually 10 other job titles. Assistant professor, nope. Anesthesiology resident, probably not quite yet. Assistant medical director, yep, they're pretty high up in their career. Director of emergency services, sure. Attending physician, yep. Clinical assistant professor, maybe not, maybe not. Emergency physician, sure. Department chair and associate medical director. All right, perfect. It's telling me my audience size is 580,000. Now what I'm going to do is what type of ad format? Do I want to do a single image, a carousel, which is multiple images, a video, text? I like to do a single image ad, okay? Because then I can put an image and write a ton of content as well. The next one, placement. Just for right now, because unfortunately we don't have time to dig into this, but uncheck this. The audience network takes that content and puts it on other sites that are using and embedding ads from LinkedIn. It's not as effective, and it's a completely different strategy than what I'm teaching you here. So just turn it off. Set your daily budget, $50. And next, this one, bidding strategy. They say, let me bid or manual bid. Always choose manual bid. Always choose manual bid, okay? Now, they're gonna default your per landing page click to $20. That's really, really high, okay? We don't wanna pay that much. So let's do this. Let's go in and let's type in $2.50. And we're gonna hit enter. And you'll notice it says, oops, your bid must be at least $4.50. That's okay. So we're going to put $4.50 in there. It will tell you what the minimum is. They just try to rake it up because they want to charge you a lot of money. Don't do what they said. You have to get in the mind of these platforms. These platforms are not your friend. Their goal is to make as much money as possible, not necessarily help you. They haven't figured out that the more money you make, the more money they make. But one day they'll figure it out. So $4.50. And then you're going to add conversion tracking. That just means that LinkedIn will notify you when somebody actually turns into a lead, which obviously is 100% yes, you have to do that, because if you're not tracking it, then you're never going to know. So we're going to just pick a thank you page that I've already done. All you would have to do is click add and you can add a thank you page. And there we go. We've got the campaign. We'd set it to launch and we'd watch it. You come in here and you see, all right, how much have I spent? How many conversions did I get? And this goes for Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. How much did I spend? What is my conversions? Okay. All right, the manual outreach on LinkedIn. Let me just show you that. This is free, the organic stuff. You can actually go into LinkedIn and you can search for doctor, right? And it's going to pull up anyone that has the job title of doctor, actually people right here. So we're going to go to see all people results. And we see that on LinkedIn, there are 7.3 million doctors. Again, this isn't only in the US, doesn't necessarily allow us to filter. Again, this is a much more manual process. I'm going to go through and kind of research these people. And if I want to connect with them, I'm going to hit connect. And then I can send them what's called a DM, a direct message, and try to connect. Now, if there is a connection, the connection is free. See how it says third plus? That means I've got somehow I'm tied to this person through a connection of a connection of a connection. If there's nothing, I can still do an inbox invite, but it's going to cost $1 per outreach. Okay. So that's why I'm looking for, you see, I've got a bunch of connections already, second, third connections. Those are who I'm going to start with. And I'm just going to manually connect with them. And you can see this happens all the time. If I go to messaging with people that I've connected with, you can see, look at this. I just got connected with February 16th. Somebody connected with me, Ryan Mendenhall. It says, your profile and experience caught my attention. I'd love to connect. Great. And if I reply back, we now start a connection. We start communicating. Hey, here we go. Bowden. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to even try. I'd be glad to become part of your network. Hey, I noticed we're connected with a few of the same people, and we both have the same interest in growing businesses in the e-learning industry. Let's connect. You can see how this is being used. Let's connect. It's a manual outreach that people are doing to try to go lead prospect and find people that they can connect with, create a relationship, add value, and they can potentially become a funding partner for you in the future. Okay. All right. One last thing, and I'm going to open it up to questions. So let's go in here to lead generation. So if you decide you want to send traffic to a website, we're going to do lead generation. The key is you want to provide results in advance or value. You create these tripwires, what we call tripwires or hooks, and then you need to follow up and engage that audience. So let's take a look. I put together a couple examples for you that I want to show you. So here is an example. Here's an example of a landing page that I built. Point and click. I'm not a coder, and I'll show you the tool that I use to build it here in just a second. Where you put your logo and it says free guide, 2021 guide to funding retirement. Finally, a guide that speaks to retirement issues of today, not decades past. Download your free guide. So let's do that. So it's a joehupp.com, and here, get my free guide. They hit get my free guide, and they are taken, should have been taken, apologize about that. They should be taken to the landing page. So let's do that, or the thank you page. So then after they submit their information, they're taken to this page here, and it says, thank you. We sincerely hope you enjoy. And it says 2020. I got to update that. Click here to download. And then it says, hey, we'd love to get to know you more. Please take 60 seconds to answer a few questions so we can help match you. Are you an accredited investor? Yes. How much do you have to invest? Again, those are just examples and sample questions that you can do. And then book a free consultation. We'd probably change that wording to book a strategy call. And then it's got a calendaring feature that allows them, it's got the data in it, and they can book an appointment. This is all done through this platform right here in a template that we've built. Okay. So this would be an example of a tripwire, an offer that we're providing value. And in our 2021 guide to funding retirement, what do you think we'd be talking about? Multifamily properties as being a good investment for anyone who's looking for retirement, or just a good investment in general. There's other way. This is just one example. You can look, built another example here for you. Let's just take a look. This is another guide. Is your retirement plan built to give you the income you need to fund your lifestyle? Find out how to get predictable retirement income in this free guide. They download it, same thing, they get this free guide. The key would be once you get that to follow up. Okay, now the tool that I use, the platform that I use is this right here. It's called Engager. Okay, this platform is actually a platform that my partner and I have built out. And just to give you a quick little overview of it, this is what it does. Okay, the Engager platform allows you to do all things in one. Most marketing campaigns, you need a CRM, you need an SMS, you need an email marketer, you need call tracking, you need surveys, forms, all of that. Most of the time before this platform, you actually had to do that all in separate places. So you can see the total of that. It's like $1,500 a month to have that type of tool right there. This tool that we have, that we built out, Engager, does that all once. And normally people are paying $500 a month. But talk to Tyler, because you guys have been on the event today. We're going to make that available to you guys for $200 a month or $2,100 a year. And that's going to be available. Obviously, this is a tool that if you want to build out the platform, and if you want to have these tripwires and landing pages and branding pages, we built that all in there. And we've actually pre-built the website for you. All you have to do is put your name on it. We pre-built those landing pages. Those guides are already pre-built for you. We pre-built the follow-up sequence. So what happens is when somebody submits their lead, it does an automated email and phone and SMS sequence. And and any ongoing updates will be pushed to anybody on the platform. And then we've got email support. So if that's something you're interested in, you just go to engager.ai/MFM, and that will get you access to that platform. Again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it because I want to leave time for questions for you guys. But again, it's just it's a platform that actually Tyler and his team use it. And I probably shouldn't tell him. Hopefully he's not listening. But we charge them $500 a month. But we're gonna give you guys a discount because you're on the event with us today. But we covered a lot. How many of you feel? Give me a 1 if you feel like you've taken a drink from a fire hydrant. Put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, a lot of 1s from Mike Connor. Look, my goal today was to make sure you had actionable things that you could actually take and do something with. I want you to grow your business. I want you to find those potential partners that can help you fund these deals. And so I just wanted to make sure I gave you some good value. Thank goodness for technology and being able to rewatch this in double speed. You get to relive some of my corny jokes. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, all right, let's open the floor. We're right at about an hour and 40. So what questions do you guys have? I'll answer anything.
Truly, just to answer your question there, please send video and links there. All of this will be sent out Monday morning. So watch your email and you should receive the slideshow as long as a recording of the meeting today.
So here's a question I see. It says, hey, Joe, Nicholas here. Can you shed some light on how the overheard audio function works? I.e., you and a spouse friend have a conversation on a specific topic. Next thing you know, you're getting ads targeted that topic. How does that work? That's a great question. Does that freak anybody out that you say something and then a minute later it shows up in your ad feed on Facebook? Yes, we're seeing a lot of yeses. Again, probably does freak you out. As an advertiser, I love it. I love it. Man, I just love it. And here's why. It is a little creepy. I'll give you that. But you have this. Everybody's got one of these mobile devices. There's some settings in this mobile device that allow Facebook to be in your background. So Facebook right now, I've allowed it. They're listening to what I'm saying because I have my phone in proximity to me. They're listening to this whole conversation we've had. So I guarantee that in my feed over the next few days, I'm going to start to see ads about multi-level properties, investment in real estate, because Facebook heard that. Who else does that? Right here, you can't really see it. I've got an Amazon device right on my desk, and that's doing the same thing. It's listening to our conversations. There are ways to turn that off if you don't want to have that happen. But what it does is it knows, because I'm logged into Facebook on this device, they know that this device is Joe Hupp on Facebook, and they know what my interests are because of what I'm talking about, and they can serve ads to me because I talked about it with my Facebook app on my phone.
Hello?
Yeah. All right, so I'm seeing a question from Amanda. Is there a reasonably priced way to outsource this type of marketing without hiring a full-time employee? Using VAs maybe? How would we go about vetting to locate a good one? Yeah, those are great questions. So the answer is yes and no, right? So let me just give you some pointers on this, because if I read into the question is, holy crap, Joe, that is a lot of work. I don't even know what the hell you just taught me. And to do this, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But obviously there's support. You can go back and watch these videos. But yes, there are resources and that are fairly reasonable. Now, here's the thing. What you want to look for is a performance-based marketing group that you work with, performance-based. I've been in this space for 20 plus years. I've been doing digital marketing for a long time. And I unfortunately know that there are some agencies and companies out there that are not as credible as others. We'll just put it that way. And what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, I'm going to charge you based on how much money you spend on Facebook. So let's say you have a budget of $1,000 a month, and they're going to charge you maybe a 20% fee. Okay. So they're going to charge you just to market that. They're going to charge you $200. Okay. Now, here's the thing. That type of marketing company, which $200 is not bad, right? That's not bad to do that. But here's the problem. With that, your interests aren't aligned, because what is their goal as an agency, as a marketing company? What is their goal? Their goal is to spend as much of your money as they possibly can, because if they do that, then they make more commission. So you don't want to work with a company like that. So the way that my company builds our contracts, if you will, is on a performance. And this is what you want to look for. You want to look for a company that either one, will have you buy the lead from them. So you can actually work with companies where they'll put out the marketing fee dollars and they'll generate the lead, and you just buy that lead from them. You have to figure out, well, what is the value of that lead to you? How much is that lead worth to you? And then you only pay once you get a lead. That is a pay for performance. In that scenario, there's not really much risk. Is you get the lead once it's been qualified, and you call them and work with them. And if it turns into a deal, you now know, hey, that was a good lead. It turned into a deal. And you have to kind of figure out your math to say, how much can I afford to spend per lead? There's other ways to do that too, where you pay them where you're paying the media, and then they get paid when a lead is generated still. So it's the same type of thing, but you're fronting the media versus the other. So those are a couple things that when you're looking for groups to work with in a marketing to do marketing for you like this, make sure it's a pay to play, pay for performance, that their interests are aligned with your interests. I believe, and Tyler and Todd, I know are on this call. Look, I believe, because we do the marketing for a lot of the marketing for those guys, I believe that we are 100% aligned. We win when they win. Our goals are their goals, and vice versa. I look at us as an extension of their company, that we're just the marketing team in their company. That's how I like to structure my deals. I want to be a partner with somebody rather than just make a bunch of money and have it be a win for me, but a lose for the others. Okay, so look for that win-win, pay for performance type thing. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay. So then it says using VAs. Yeah, you could do VAs, virtual assistants. There's a bunch of different sites and tools that can help you with that. You just Google that. For VAs, I like to use, you can use Fiverr for VAs. I don't necessarily like to do that. Trying to remember the one that we use all the time is Elance. I think they changed their name since, but it's Elance, kind of like freelance Elance. That's a good, Elance.com is a good one. I'll think of some others and I can send them your guys' way. All right, Jose asks, Joe, I'm interested in the tool. I have a couple specific questions. Yeah, so I'm getting some questions about the Engager platform. If you guys have questions, if it's something that you're interested in but you have questions, just shoot an email to support@engager.ai, and we're more than happy to answer any of those questions for you. And this isn't like this MFM deal will stick. It's not like going to go away at any point in time. It's available to any of you when you want it. That was another question. Does a service like Haibu do what the Engager platform that you offer does? I am, Tanya, I'm not actually familiar with Haibu, so I can research that and send it out to the group, because I'm not familiar with that, so I don't know how to answer that one, unfortunately. Okay, so and again, a question: what are the things that Engager.ai month setup will cover? So again, what the platform does. Let me just back up so you can see. So the platform does email marketing. So you can email. Actually, let's just do this. This is probably easier. This is the platform right here. You can send email from the platform, but you can send automated campaigns. So like, here's a campaign. that so you can set a trigger that says when a lead comes into my site, send them a text message, and it puts all their information in it. Then 2 minutes later, we send them an email. 3 minutes later, it calls you so you can call them. The system does outbound calls too. A day later, it does an email. 1 day later, it does an SMS. Another day later, it does a call. Then 3 minutes after that, you can drop a voicemail. A day later, an email. A day later, so it's just what it does is it builds a follow-up sequence, because following up with that lead, if you get a lead and don't follow up, you've wasted your money. You need to follow up with your leads, and so this automates some of that process, but still sounds human. Doesn't make you sound like a robot. I think we talked about that, right? So how can I automate as much of this as possible and not sound like a robot? And it personalizes it on a one-to-one basis. So it does email, it does SMS. So and it's got a CRM, so you can see there's a lead in this one right there. There's Joe Hub. I can go in right into the platform and put his phone number in, and then now I can text him. All right, I got to save that. And now it will actually let me send texts and emails right from the platform. Any information they filled out, are you a accredited investor? It's stored there. How much do they have to invest? It just stores all your data and allows you to communicate with them, okay? It has the built-in website and funnel builder. All of these are templates that you'll have those templates. You'll also get all of this marketing follow-up sequences, the calendaring system, all of these sequences. If they showed an appointment, don't show the nurturing sequence. You can go in and customize any of this, obviously, but it does all this, and that's what's included in what we're offering to you guys, okay? Let's see. Oh, yes, another question. Is there support tutorials? Yeah, if you come in here, there's this little black question mark, and there's a video library on how to do everything. So you can go into anything and it shows you how to do it. There's a video tutorial on how to do everything. You can also contact us. I have a full staff that goes in and will answer any questions. You submit your question, they'll respond. And you can say, I have a bug, I have a question about how a feature works, or I'm trying to do something and not sure how that app can help me do it. Ask them and they'll help you with that. Okay. All right. Okay, here's a good question. Joe, is there support tutorial? Yes. What are the thoughts on behavioral AI ads on Google Ad Exchange? Good question. So it looks like Dennis has got some experience doing some ads, because that's a fairly high level question there. So here's the thought process. Okay. Google and Facebook are spending billions a year on AI. Okay. So I consider myself really, really good at marketing because I've been doing it for a long time. And, but I am not as smart as some of the AI that Google and Facebook has developed. So I don't fight it. You have a lot of marketers who will fight the AI. I don't fight it. I lean into it and I use it to my advantage. And I then add to the mix what I can do that AI can't do, which is the creative pieces. AI is not going to be good at coming up with creative that actually engages your user and gets them to take action, a direct response. It hasn't hit that level yet. But going out and finding the right people, I let Google and Facebook's AI do that. I don't fight it. I lean into it. So hopefully that addresses your question there, Dennis. But yeah, let the AI do it. Now, you have to keep in mind that some of those AIs don't kick in until you spend. YouTube's AI doesn't kick in until you're spending $50,000 a month or above. And unfortunately, the AI just doesn't work well with a spend lower than 50K, which most likely we're not going to be spending 50K at this level. So you're going to have to just understand how some of that stuff works when you build it, and let the AI do as much as it possibly can. Facebook has what are called dynamic ads, where I can upload a bunch of different titles, a bunch of different description, a bunch of different images, and Facebook's AI will figure out which one's best. I 100% do that because I want the AI to learn and figure out. And the better it learns about who I'm trying to target, the better it's going to go find those people for me, higher return on my ad spend I'm going to get. So 100%. Now, you also asked about geofencing. Again, this is getting pretty technical, but with geofencing, that only comes into play if you really care about a geolocation for who you're targeting. In my opinion, because you guys can invest in properties all across the US and you can work with investors all across the US, I wouldn't necessarily think that is that applicable for you right now, because you want to target the entire US. Now, you can do it if you're just trying to target a location. And so yes, thumbs up there if that's what your goal is. But for me, I'm going to target, I want my audience to be as big as possible, because that, again, the bigger the audience, the bigger the AI can work. So. All right, what else? Any other questions? Any other questions? Again, I'm here to answer anything you have for me. Interesting. So Dennis says, geofencing users at investing conference. That's actually brilliant. It's a great idea. So thumbs up. I like the way you're thinking, Dennis, because yeah, you're going and saying, people that are coming to this conference, I want to run promotional events while they're in this geo. That's a great idea. I love it. Yamiris, can Engager AI support direct mailer campaigns? Great question. So the answer is yes. It doesn't actually send out the direct mail, but what it does is it has what's called a webhook, and it will send a notification. So when the lead comes into Engager, it will actually send a notification to your mailer company that's doing the direct mails, and it gives them all the data they need, and it allows them to send out the direct mail piece. So the answer is yes. It doesn't do the direct mail itself, but it can push to whoever you're sending direct mail through. So all the data can live in here. One of the biggest benefits, honestly, to Engager and why we built it, we honestly built it to help our clients. That's how it started, because each one of our clients, and I think Jackson can attest to this, when we started working with Multifamily Mindset, we said, okay, you need to now go get these 7 pieces of software. And their bill on those 7 pieces of software was like $1,500 a month. And so we're like, dude, there's got to be a better way. And when you take data from one platform to another, the data has a chance to break down and break. So we have it housed all in one platform, all under one roof. So the data lives in one ecosystem. So you don't have those issues of data breaking down. Okay, Joe. Okay, so Amanda asks, Joe, this was a great class, so much information. If I want to dig in and learn more, recommendations and classes and programs. So I have done a lot of training videos. Let me work with Jackson, Tyler, and Todd, and let's see how I can get you guys access to that. I've got some other training curriculum that we can get access to you guys. YouTube obviously has a lot of good curriculum. My only worry and hesitation with telling you just to go Google it is, unfortunately, in the information space, people teaching information, even people teaching in how to do real estate investing, like what Multifamily Mindset does. Look, there's a reason why I work with these guys and not some of the others out there. I'm not going to say anything derogatory to the other ones out there. Unfortunately, some people don't care about the clients as much as what I see Tyler and Todd and team doing. So just be careful when you go out and look for content. There are people who are quote unquote gurus teaching content that the only money they've ever made online is by selling information on how to make money online. So please know that you need to pick who you follow carefully, and just look at their track record. Look at how long they've been doing it. Time doesn't always mean success, but time does help. And if you have questions, shoot a chat over, shoot a text over, and I'm more than happy to answer and say, yeah, this is a good resource, or no, that's not a good resource. Mike says, for a guy who hardly knows Facebook, this hurts my brain. Yeah, no, it is. It's a lot of information. There's a lot to do there, but take it one little chunk at a time. Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to start by creating my brand. Start there. And then I'm going to do the next thing. Then I'm going to do the next thing. The key is action. The key is movement, momentum. Momentum breeds success. And so that momentum helps you to keep going forward. So be doing something rather than getting stuck in analysis paralysis. We want to keep moving forward. Take a little bit at a time and do that. Then do the next thing. Then do the next thing. Okay, what else? Anything else that I can see as far as questions? Yeah, you're welcome for making those videos available. I'll just get with Todd or Tyler on how to do that. Yeah, I think that looks it. Like all the questions. What else?
Hey, real quick. Sorry, Joe, I had to jump off there just for a second, but
Man.
I want to say one thing. What you just said is critical, right? It is taking it one step at a time, right? There's seriously so much. I mean, dude, just from when I missed probably 30 minutes or so there, but I mean, dude, there's so much to unpack, right? So much you just went through, man. Take one little bit and go implement it. Take another little bit and go implement it. And it's this process to build, right? I have from when I was on here, Joe, so many notes. Like, bro, you just blew my mind. And I know that I missed the most nitty gritty details, which I promise you I go back and I rewatch this, man. I just appreciate all the info a ton.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I geek out on this stuff. I love it. So, but yeah, I'll just reiterate that. I mean, this stuff, I wish I could say I was born with all this information. It's come little by little, and just implementing. The key is implementation, though. Like, I mean, learning something without implementation does no good. It's as good as not knowing it. So take one of these pieces, go and set a goal in the next week to create a Facebook page. You can do that, right? And then the next week, go put your first post out there, put your first video out there, whatever it is, just one step at a time.
Love it.
All right, man. Well, that's what I've got for you guys. Unless there's any other questions.
Take advantage. We have a couple, we could probably spend a couple more minutes. Joe's the man. And if you guys have questions, I definitely would say take advantage and ask those questions.
Hey, Joe, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, when it comes to branding, like building a brand, branding guidelines, logos and stuff, where would you suggest that we go to like research and learn more about like choosing colors and fonts and all of that stuff?
Yeah, great question. That is important. I mean, when we were creating the brand for Multifamily Mindset, I mean, we spent time on that, and you want to. So like things like purple mean royalty, green means money. You kind of want. So if you just Google it, there's a lot of branding guides on the internet, and I'll look for something and see if I can find something that I would trust to send out to you guys. But Google like, what do colors mean in marketing? And you'll find some really good guidelines there.
Great question.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody asked me, where do I get this cool background? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in Maui right now.
Yeah, he's in the other office.
I'm on a beach. No, this is native to Zoom. You can just upload a cool background in Zoom.
Awesome. Well, Joe, thank you so much for your time and all the information. It was a ton of information. I was blown away by some of the stuff that you shared. So thank you so much for taking that time to put this together and share with all of us. Like I said at the very beginning, this was recorded, and a PDF version of the slideshow, as well as a link to this recording will be sent out Monday for everybody to review. Thanks y'all for joining. Ty, I don't know if you want